tashkilotining yo'lga qo'yilishi jamiyatda butunlay yangi tadbirkorlik ruhini shakllantirdi. Shu bilan birga islohotlarni amalga oshirish jarayonida xalqaro moliyaviy va rivojlanish tashkilotlari, dunyoning yetakchi konsalting tashkilotlari hamda yirik kompaniyalar bilan yaqindan hamkorlik qilish yo'lga qo'yildi. Shu bilan birga mana shu bugun kelib forumda qatnashayotgan hamma mehmonlar bilan biz O'zbekistonda amalga oshirilgan iqtisodiy islohotlarning asosiy natijalarini aytib o'tmoqchimiz. Avvalambor valyuta bozorini liberallashtirish, bank tizimini transformatsiya qilish, soliq islohotlari, statistik ko'rsatkichlar va byudjet jarayonlarining shaffofligini ta'minlash, suveren reytingga ega bo'lish va jahon moliya bozorlariga chiqish, davlat korxonalarini transformatsiya qilish va xususiylashtirish, davlat xususiy sherikchilik loyihalarining amalga oshirilishi va boshqalarni asosiy natijalar sifatida keltirishimiz mumkin. Bugungi forumda 1300 dan ziyod mahalliy va xorijiy iqtisodchilar, hamkor davlatlar vakillari, xalqaro moliya institutlarining qiziqish bildirib ro'yxatdan o'tgani hurmatli Prezidentimiz Shavkat Mirziyoyev tomonidan olib borilayotgan islohotlarning natijasi sifatida jahon hamjamiyati tomonidan O'zbekiston bilan hamkorlikka bo'lgan qiziqishning tobora ortishidan dalolat bermoqda. Bugungi forumda biz nafaqat fikr almashamiz, balki bir necha yirik hujjatlarni imzolaymiz. Jumladan xususiylashtirish bo'yicha 600 million dollarga, davlat xususiy sherikchiligi loyihalari bo'yicha 2,6 milliard dollarga, xorijiy kredit bitimlari esa 3,4 milliard dollarga. Xonimlar va janoblar, forumda natijalarga ko'p to'xtalmasdan oldimizga qo'yilgan vazifalar haqida ko'proq fikr almashmoqchimiz. Yaqinda hurmatli Prezidentimiz tomonidan keyingi 5 yil ichida aholi jon boshiga yalpi ichki mahsulotni 1,6 barobarga oshirib 2800 AQSh dollariga yoki 2030-yilga kelib esa o'rta daromadli mamlakatlarning yuqori guruhiga kirish maqsadi belgilab berildi. Buning uchun biz barqaror, inklyuziv va yuqori sur'atdagi iqtisodiy o'sishga erishishimiz va shu bilan birga iqtisodiyotimizning turli xil shoklarga bardoshliligini mustahkamlashimiz kerak. Ushbu rivojlanish ko'rsatkichlariga erishishda va keyingi bosqichdagi islohotlarni amalga oshirishda xususiy va to'g'ridan to'g'ri xorijiy investitsiyalarning hajmini keskin oshirishga qaratiladi. Keyingi 5 yillikda bir vaqtning o'zida ham yuqori iqtisodiy faollik, ham makroiqtisodiy barqarorlikni saqlab qolishda xususiy sektor rivojlanishiga alohida e'tibor qaratiladi. Shuningdek, oldimizda turgan muhim islohotlar, shu jumladan birinchidan energiya resurslari bozorini isloh qilish, iqtisodiyotda energiya samaradorlikni oshirish va yashil iqtisodiyotga asoslangan o'sish modeliga o'tish. Inson kapitalini rivojlantirish va mehnat unumdorligini rivojlantirish ikkinchi yo'nalish bo'ladi. Uchinchidan, raqamli va innovatsion texnologiyalarni keng joriy etish. To'rtinchidan, biznes muhitini yanada yaxshilash. Beshinchidan, davlat korxonalari transformatsiyasini chuqurlashtirish va banklarni hamda ularni xususiylashtirishni kengaytirish. Va nihoyat, qishloq xo'jaligidagi islohotlarni jadallashtirish va boshqa yo'nalishdagi islohotlar kelgusi davrda iqtisodiy o'sish uchun zamin bo'lib xizmat qiladi deb o'ylaymiz. Albatta bu maqsadlarga erishishning oson bo'lmasligini tushunamiz. Lekin ishonch bildiramizki, forum doirasida biz muhokamalar va yangi kelishuvlar orqali bu savollarga birgalikda javob topishga harakat qilamiz. Shu o'rinda bir narsani alohida ta'kidlab o'tmoqchimiz. Hurmatli Prezidentimiz Shavkat Mirziyoyev janob oliylari aytganlaridek, biz endi bozor islohotlaridan orqaga qaytmaymiz. I want to emphasize one thing and refer to our President, His Excellency Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, that the reforms that were started in Uzbekistan are irreversible. We believe that the reforms will benefit not only people and entrepreneurs in Uzbekistan, but it also will create an opportunity for international partners and investors to make new success stories. Dear guests, colleagues and friends, the forum consists of 14 panels, which include experienced researchers, representatives of IFI's development institutions, foreign government agencies, and the private sector in order to discuss the reform agenda. In this panel session, we want to avoid boring speeches and try to organize them mainly in the form of interactive discussions and open dialogue. The results of every discussion, debate, and agreement would serve to ensure the practicality of our development programs in the future. Once again, I would like to express to you my gratitude for participating in this event, and I hope that this forum will be useful for all of us. Hurmatli hamkasblar, forum ishtirokchilari, xonimlar va janoblar, yana bir bor sizlarga forumga marhabo deb aytamiz va sizlardan forum faoliyatida faol ishtirok etishlaringizni so'rab qolamiz. E'tiboringiz uchun rahmat. Sog' omon bo'linglar.
Minnatdorchilik izhor etamiz. Hurmatli forum ishtirokchilari, umid qilamizki, mazkur tadbir sizda yangi O'zbekistonni yaqindan kashf etish uchun muhim imkoniyat vazifasini o'taydi va ijozatingiz bilan forumning birinchi plenar yig'ilishini boshlaymiz. Dear participants, we hope that the first Uzbekistan International Economic Forum will serve for you as an important opportunity to explore new Uzbekistan more closely, and with your permission, we are going to start the first plenary session of the forum, and now I would like to invite on stage the speakers of the first panel session. Demak, azizlar, sahnamizga ma'ruzachilarimizni taklif etamiz.
Now the floor is given to the moderator, International Business Advisor, Mr. Ryan Chilcourt. Aziz mehmonlar, so'z birinchi plenar yig'ilishi moderatori, xalqaro biznes maslahatchisi janob Ryan Chilcourtga beriladi. Marhamat.
Good morning to all of you. Deputy Prime Minister Kuchkadov, thank you very much for your speech. That was very interesting. I particularly appreciated the part about no boring speeches today. And thank you to all of you who have made the effort to come here to Tashkent. I know for many of you this is your first trip in nearly 2 years, and I know that the government appreciates that you chose Tashkent to be that first destination. Thank you also to the thousands of you, literally, that are watching this now online. I know that many of you wished to be here in person, but unfortunately, obviously, because of social distancing, that wasn't simply possible. This event, not unlike Uzbekistan's Eurobonds, was heavily oversubscribed. So we appreciate your understanding in that sense, and we will be sure to include you in the conversation, not just in this discussion, but over the next 14 and over the next 2 days. So, Kata Rahmat. I'm Ryan Chilcourt. I'm a veteran journalist, longtime watcher of Eurasian affairs, and actually a relative newcomer to Uzbekistan. I came here and spent first quality time a couple of years ago, and I find Uzbekistan to be a very refreshing country, given my experiences in the region. Allow me, with no further ado, to introduce our esteemed panelists, beginning with Deputy Prime Minister. Deputy Prime Minister, thank you. Jim O'Neill, formerly the chair of Chatham House, one of the world's premier think tanks for foreign affairs, and also former chairman of Goldman Sachs Asset Management. Thank you, Jim. Anna Bjerde. Ms. Bjerde is the vice president at the World Bank. Eric de Rothschild, vice chairman at Rothschild & Co. a man who describes himself as a banker, a philanthropist, and for the more discerning of you, you will know also a winemaker. 3 parts in equal measure, every one of them. Next, Shirchin Chen, Vice President at the Asian Development Bank. To his left, Ron Van Ruden, the head of the IMF's mission to Uzbekistan, and Ravshan Gulyanov, advisor to the President of Uzbekistan. Thank you all for joining us. Let's give them a quick round of applause for getting up here and doing this with you. So, Deputy Prime Minister, let's get right into it. You were talking about growth there in your speech. Uzbekistan was one of, I think, only 3 countries in Europe and Central Asia to actually post positive growth in 2020. A very remarkable feat, even as the pandemic raged. Going forward, at some point in time, we'll be able to look back on this era of the pandemic. How do you now continue that kind of robust growth that you had without the public spending that you've had the last few years?
Thank you, Brian. Yes, it will be a little bit difficult to have strong and high economic growth for coming years. And it's a little bit different situation. Let's say in 2020 and 2021, we mainly rely on fiscal stimulation policy. That's why we cannot continue this expansion policy. And first of all, we are looking for stimulating private investment, including FDI, and to reform many sectors in order to improve productivity, efficiency, and competition. And we think that is working because for half of this year, we have already 6.2% growth, and we have a target for this year 7% economic growth. Yes, hopefully.
Ms. Anabirda, if I may, the World Bank has an editorial out about the reforms in Uzbekistan. You heard the Deputy Prime Minister mention the word reform. Give us the report card. How have they done?
Back so soon again. And I would also like to really thank the government of Uzbekistan, Deputy Prime Minister Kuchkarov, for initiating this forum, which I think has an incredibly well-defined program, and I look forward to the discussions over the next few days. I also would like to say it is very timely to have this conference because we are coming towards the advanced stage of the 2017-2021 development strategy under the leadership of the President of Uzbekistan and the government. So taking stock on the economic and social transformation is very, very timely. So let's look back, absolutely, Ryan. And I would like to really start by saying and reflecting now also on the fact that Uzbekistan was one of 3 countries in the region that actually did post positive growth in 2020. Quite remarkable when the rest of the world contracted by about 3.4% globally. And we think that was due to 2 key factors.
Bizni tomosha qilayotgan teletomoshabinlarga xayrli kun deymiz va guvoh bo'ldingiz. Hozir O'zbekiston iqtisodiy forumi bo'lib o'tmoqda va bugun 29-sentyabr haftaning payshanba kuni O'zbekiston iqtisodiy forumiga start berildi. Guvoh bo'layotganingizdek, hozir ochilish marosimidan so'ng asosiy ma'ruzalar qismiga o'tildi. Rejalashtirilgandek 29-30-sentyabr kunlari O'zbekiston iqtisodiy forumi bo'lib o'tadi va asosiy jarayonlar 2 kun davomida rejalashtirilgan. Va bu iqtisodiy forumning asosiy maqsadi O'zbekistonda so'nggi 5 yilda amalga oshirilgan iqtisodiy islohotlar va ularning o'rni, undagi amalga oshirilgan yangiliklar va bundan keyingi iqtisodiy salohiyatni shunday ushlab qolgan holda iqtisodiy islohotni olib borishdagi yangi metodlar ko'rib chiqiladi va 2 kun davomida turli xil mavzularda fikr almashiladi va bugungi boshlangan forumda dunyoning nufuzli tashkilotlari, jumladan Jahon banki, shuningdek Osiyo taraqqiyot banki, bundan tashqari bir qancha xalqaro nufuzli departamentdan vakillar ishtirok etmoqda va aytishimiz mumkin, bugun forumning birinchi kuni va bugun yangi iqtisodiy o'sish dasturini amalga oshirish to'g'risidagi aloqalar to'g'risidagi fikrlar almashiladi va bunga bag'ishlangan suhbatlar bo'lib o'tadi va bugun aynan guvoh bo'ldingiz, bundan bir necha daqiqalar oldin O'zbekiston prezidenti Shavkat Mirziyoyevning iqtisodiy forum ishtirokchilariga yo'llagan tabrigi ham o'qib eshitildi. Shundan so'ng esa bosh vazir o'rinbosari, iqtisodiy taraqqiyot va kambag'allikni qisqartirish vaziri Jamshid Qo'chqorov forum ishtirokchilariga o'zining tabrigi va nutqini yo'lladi. Bundan tashqari ayni daqiqalarda iqtisodchi Goldman Sachs Asset Management'ning sobiq raisi va bir qancha rasmiylar so'zga chiqmoqda, guvoh bo'lib turibsiz va bizda spiker ham bor, ular Jahon bankidan, ulardan bugungi forumning ahamiyati va qanchalik muhim ekanligini so'rab bilamiz. Good morning, sir. Come here, please. Come here. Good morning. Welcome to Uzbekistan.
Thank you very much.
And what do you think? How important to organize this economical forum in Uzbekistan? How important the role of this forum?
See, look, it's been 5 years of reforms in Uzbekistan. From 2017, under President Mirziyoyev's leadership, so much has changed. But we've never had an opportunity, because of the coronavirus pandemic, to sit down together as a group to reflect on the reforms that have been achieved. Also to think about what are the next reforms. And you know that President Mirziyoyev's 2017 to 21 development strategy is now, this is the final year, this is the beshinchi yil. Now, what's next, right? And so it's very, very important.
I will translate. Biroz tarjima qilib o'tamiz. Demak, aynan 2017-yildan boshlangan iqtisodiy islohotlarga ham 5 yil bo'ldi va bu bir qadar o'zining natijalarini ko'rsatdi. Bundan tashqari biz post pandemiya davridamiz, ya'ni koronavirus pandemiyasi iqtisodiyotga o'zining salbiy natijalarini ko'rsatdi. To'g'ri, Mirziyoyev olib borgan iqtisodiy islohotlar o'zining yaxshi natijasini berdi, biroq bundan keyingi qadamlar nima? Pandemiyadan keyingi davrda iqtisodiyotni o'nglash uchun qanday qadamlar qilinishi kerak? Ayni bu borasida hozir spikerimiz aytib o'tadilar.
Lekin kichkina narsa, bu 5-yil bo'ldi yo'q. Yana 5 yil kerak. Yana 5 yil islohotlar kerak. We need more reforms, right? Nima kerak? What do we need to do here? And the main challenges are now to look forward for the next 5 years, jobs, private investment. How do we increase that? How do we create more jobs for people? How do we increase salaries and wages for people? How can we allow young universities graduates, more graduates, and how do we allow them to enter the job market? That's the focus.
And this forum will answer to this question, yeah?
Indeed, I think each of the sessions, there are 14 panel sessions here in the event today and tomorrow, and the whole idea of this event is to identify what are those challenges, what needs to happen. Nima islohot kerak? You know, what type of sequencing is needed, and I think that's the way to do it.
14 sessiyadan iborat bo'lgan aynan bu iqtisodiy forum shu savollarga javob beradiki, bundan buyog'iga va bundan keyingi 5 yilda qanday islohotlar kerak, qanday qilib yangi ish o'rinlarini yaratish kerak, qanday qilib iqtisodiyotda o'sha xavf soladigan sohalar, tahdidlarga qarshi javob berish uchun tura oladigan metodlarni amalga oshirish kerak. Aynan bu 14 sessiyadan iborat bo'lgan forum bu savollarga javob beradi demoqdalar. And thank you so much for your interesting answer.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Rahmat, Jahon bankidan tashrif buyurgan mutaxassisimizga rahmat deb qolamiz va yana aytib o'tishimiz kerakki, bundan buyog'iga ham mana hozir nutqlar bo'lib o'tmoqda va bizga berilgan ma'lumotlarga ko'ra, bundan bir necha daqiqalardan keyin Anna Byorde, Jahon banki vitse-prezidenti, bundan tashqari Shik Sen-chen, Osiyo taraqqiyot banki vitse-prezidenti, bundan tashqari Rothschild & Co kuzatuv kengashining rais o'rinbosari Erik de Rothschild, bundan tashqari Ron van Ruden, Yaqin Sharq va Markaziy Osiyo bo'yicha departament direktor o'rinbosari, xalqaro valyuta jamg'armasi mutaxassislari ham so'zga chiqishadi. Demak, biz forumning tafsilotlarini sizga e'tiboringizga havola etib boramiz. Bizning to'g'ridan-to'g'ri efirlarimiz va kun davomidagi reportajlarimizni kuzatib boring. Sizlar bilan men Shohruh Majidov va ta'sirchi Toyirov Baxtiyor Xo'ja bo'ldi. Bizni kuzatishda davom eting, biz esa sizga tafsilotlarni berib boramiz.